Hi everyone, it's Jerry. I'm ChessCube, Kibitzing a game, 5-minute one. Here we go. 2199 versus a 2183, and who is the side better? Black has a pawn advantage, a strongly placed bishop, and I believe is gonna be in trouble. I didn't see that rook to f8 move. Okay, is there a way to exploit this pin? And white is just going after this pawn right here, and it's a very significant one. This d pawn will then be advanced, or it'll be a passed pawn. Is black going to be playing b6, bishop b7 in the meantime, or trying to maybe improve their king position? This is a very awkward pin to try and get out of. I'm only seeing maybe just b6, bishop b7, but in the meantime, white is just going to be snipping here, and this is just going to be a very difficult situation for black now. So black being up a pawn, but certainly not well coordinated, having to work themselves out of this annoying pin, and black being down on time right now. So we're going to be needing some action very quickly, and it's not coming very quickly. What is black thinking about as candidate moves right here? I'm not seeing anything other than b6, maybe king f7. Actually, the rook could get trapped. King f7, bishop takes, rook takes, king to e7, and that rook is actually out of squares. Wow, actually king f7. Bishop takes would be a blunder, right? Did I have that right? Bishop takes, rook takes, king e7, and the rook is just lost. The bishop covers this square, but okay, but we have b5 instead, and I'm not sure what that even accomplishes. Because we could be, okay, why wouldn't we just have takes right here? We could actually run into a back rank issue for white. Rook to b8 is looking for mate in 2. I think we should be seeing that right away. But then again, well, yeah, actually, I think that might be a convenient way to get out of this pin as well. The rook could come to b1 with check and then do something about this bishop. Maybe kind of weasel it around to this f5 and then e4 square. Right now, this flight square is not really a great flight square. Of course, that bishop watching over it. In under a minute, 47 seconds, rook b8, mate in 2 threat. And now I think you give check and then get this bishop out. That's actually very difficult. Where does it go after rook check, king g2? You give another check, and then I'm not seeing where there is a safe square for this bishop. Okay, so just targeting this guy right here. And what's the plan right here? Just take swap bishops and then go after the d pawn or a pawn. I'm assuming that white is wanting to get this d pawn first, and that way this pawn could be passed. But this king is close by to try and stop that. 30 seconds to 2 minutes 33 seconds. White may be doing well to just avoid the exchange of pieces, trying to keep it as complicated as possible. But now bishop takes right here is a very serious threat with 26 seconds left. Ouch. And I don't know that there's a good way to defend against it. Bishop takes with check. These bishops are covering a ton of squares, and this king is just getting walked right now. What about just bishop to c3? No, actually we have rook to f2 in mind right here. And who is going to have the safer king right now? I think black has more options. The white king being cut off right now, and 22.2 seconds to figure this out on the black side. Exchanging right here, and I think that's a very good practical decision. Just trying to get this a pawn next, and I think you need to get that king central at this point. Black all of a sudden the side that is up a pawn, well coordinated with this bishop, and trying to get the king involved. I think maybe down on this g3 square, I'm not quite sure what h5 accomplishes. That the king could have made use of the e5 or g5 square, and here we go. Trying to maybe get this pawn pushed. This king is cut off. I would definitely be preferring black here, but the time situation makes me think otherwise. Objectively, it's better for black, I believe. Better king position, and this rook is really well placed, but is it going to be enough with this situation here regarding the time? 1 minute 25 to 14. King has pressure on this pawn, and white just gets going with their passed pawn, but this rook is keeping a close eye on it. getting behind the pass pawn and still cutting over off the king. King to e1, pretty much necessary, otherwise there's going to be those discovered checks. And now this pawn is going to be grabbed, but rook takes, king takes, and oh, bishop to c4 I was thinking, just to stop like a pawn advance to allow that bishop to watch over a7. Are we just going to have pawn push at this point? No, the king is still just running in this direction, and now rook takes, king takes. This is definitely going to be at least a draw. I believe you have to play bishop c3 or not. Okay, rook, bishop to b8, and now who is this going to be a win for black? I believe it is going to be a win for black. Or not. This king gets in the corner. This king gets in the corner, but no, actually, okay, yeah, this is, because this pawn could push, deflect the bishop, the king could take this, and then the bishop can sacrifice itself for this pawn right here. But with 2.7 seconds for black, okay, this is definitely going to be a draw now. So opposite color bishop ending, bishop takes, king takes, and that's going to be it. Oh, white didn't want to just take that pawn, but hopefully they play one more game. This has to end in a draw. So 1.1 seconds. There's no way black is going to come back from this. However, actually black is this is ridiculous. What's going on here? Black is moving. Why isn't this king just taking the pawn? King takes pawn? Okay, there we go. There was like a ton of moves being played right there, and no time was even coming off the clock. Play one more. There we go. Wonderful. Okay, so what do we have? E4 Sicilian. What is black going to be throwing at white? King pawn opening. All right. Rue Lopez, Scotch game or not? Philidor's defense. D4, striking in the center. Are we going to have knight D7? No, giving up the center, and now just some development right here. This right here, A6 followed by B5, is something to watch out for, and black could be gaining some tempo on this bishop, but white is just stopping that, not allowing these space-gaining moves like B5, B4, and the white pieces get kicked around. So white will do well, I believe, to play rook e1 in this c5 move. I really do not like that c5 move. This right here, with just this one weakness, that translates in, what does that do? That translates into a target, a clear plan for white to just target this backward d6 pawn, and I guess queen d3. Get this pin is a bit annoying. Might we actually see bishop to e2? This is something that maybe white could have just avoided before that bishop g4 move. What was played? Bishop f4. So maybe there was something before that bishop f4 move. I don't know that bishop f4 move could have been stopped, and now at the cost of getting out of this pin, white has to compromise their position. And now I don't want to rook to e1, guard that e4 pawn. No, I still don't want to play. And okay, so bishop to f8, I guess, is going on next. This is probably the worst placed minor piece for black, and white is going to be the better side. I'm judging that just by the pawn structure alone. Queen d2, rook a to d1, and this starts to really become a serious liability. At any moment g5 could be played. This knight's going to be kicked away, and this white knight could occupy that weakened d5 square. So it's not just this d6 pawn that is a target, but the square in front of it is clearly weakened. This bishop it could maybe turn out to be out of play if something were to simplify a bit more and white could somehow get this f pawn to f3. This structure right here, f3 and e4, kind of just cancels out that bishop's influence on the position from the g6 post. But white is definitely exhausting a ton of time right here. 3 minutes 8 seconds. What moves are being considered right now? This would be a very forcing move, e5, but that allows, you know, an exchange of a healthy pawn for a not so healthy pawn on d6. Queen d2, rook a to d1. I'm not seeing anything else. Is g5 being considered? G5 no. Okay, queen d2. That was my first thought, just to allow that queen rook to participate in the game. And okay, there we go. The bishop's backing up. Now something has to be done with this pawn, and I don't know that there's actually a convenient way to defend it. Bishop to g5 maybe. Actually, that might be a pretty good idea. Just pin the knight and then maybe look to pile up on it. Bishop to g5, and that's indirectly covering that e4 square. So is there going to be anything better? I like the bishop g5 move. The bishop was here, and on that e7 square, bishop g5, a move earlier wouldn't really make much sense, but now certainly it comes with the pin, and that's exactly what we have. I believe bishop has to come back to e7. This pin is just way too annoying. The queen cannot afford to just go elsewhere and allow white to smash open that structure right here, and white doing well to just maintain the pin, and now we have bishop to e7. This bishop could always come back to g3 at this point and target this point. We might actually have some tactics here with knight takes on e4, hitting the queen, and I believe that actually is a threat. Okay, and white gets out of that right away. Knight takes pawn, bishop takes bishop, knight takes queen, bishop takes queen, knight takes knight with check, and I believe that black is benefiting from that variation, so white just gets out of it right away. But white under 2 minutes to 4 minutes, having a lot of time to catch up right now. Rook a to d1, what should black be doing? Queen to d7, a very awkward move. In fact, knight d5 would come with that much more of a sting. That b6 square, a very sensitive point. How to flush this knight away? Okay, knight h4 I believe is a very good idea. This f5 square is its focal. Actually, knight takes bishop is the threat. Forget about it. This is more direct because this pawn is pinned. This bishop is unprotected. So king to h7 I believe, or just back up the bishop. If the bishop backs up, then black runs the risk long term of a back rank mate. This flight square, the king no longer has that available to it, but knight f5, a very, very dangerous piece. And now we have these doubled pawns, but well, a 4-on-3 on the queen side for black, but can that be put to use? I'm not really seeing it. Serious threat, knight to f3. Uh-oh. This seems very inconvenient to have to guard against. Queen to d3, queen to c6. Is this knight actually going to get to that f3 square? Queen to d3. White has a lot of issues to be solving right here. In fact, d5 I believe could be played right now, and this once backward pawn is now springing to life with tempo and shutting down this bishop. Where does it go? I think bishop f1, it needs to relocate to this g2 square. The rook really does not want to be tied down to the defense of this f3 square, and now I believe bishop to g2 right now. This is still a threat. Actually, rook takes in pawn. No, not pawn takes. Rook takes. You have to guard that f3 square. The knight could move at any moment. I believe you have to. Oh, knight check right now. Knight to f3 is a killer move. That's going to be game. A very nice in-between move right there by black, and that is game, set, match. Oh, okay. That was a wild game. I am going to stop right there. Definitely the game turned on that very quickly. I'm not so sure about that earlier c5 move weakening d6, but anyhow, that's all for this video. As always, I hope you got something out of it. Take care. Bye.